And we are talking with Lee Vance, the Democratic candidate for sheriff here in Hinds County. How are you feeling about today?
Well, right now we're feeling very confident. The last check that I had, we were at about 80% of the vote with over half of the precincts reporting. So we've got a pretty substantial lead, and we feel comfortable where we are.
Now, this has been an interesting race, the primary. There are as many as, 11 candidates, 10 or 11?
There were actually 10 people in the race, and I think there were 8 people in the primary.
So you made it through all that. Mm-hmm. This just about a year after retiring from JPD.
Right.
What brought you back and you getting back into the thick of things here in the area?
Law enforcement as a profession seems to be in my blood, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think I'm addicted to stress.
But you bring a wealth of knowledge to a different type of job, going from JPD now to the Hinds County Sheriff's Department. I asked you earlier, and you can answer again.
Yeah.
When they pin the badge on you, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, we're going to convene a meeting with all of the law enforcement heads in Hinds County. I think that we need to figure out ways to support each other more formally, be able to maybe create task forces, share resources. And also, I want to reestablish the relationships that I had with the federal agencies while I was chief of the Jackson Police Department. And then last but not least, we have got to delve right into the business of the Hinds County Detention Center. That thing is using up so many resources, both human and financial, without any obvious progress. It's a safety issue, and I hope to be part of a team working along with the other members in the criminal justice system, as well as the Board of Supervisors. The detention center actually belongs to the Board of Supervisors. So we got to get our place on the team. But I can tell you right now, I'm in favor of building a new one. But I'm open to seeing whatever we can do with the current one. The most important thing to me is safety. And after that, doing what's best for the taxpayers.
And that facility is under a federal consent decree, which means it has to be compliant with an agreement between the federal government and the county. How long is it going to take to hit those benchmarks on the federal consent decree?
It's going to be tough. Just based on what I know right now, the configuration of the facility is not conducive to some of the things that they want implemented. So I don't quite know how we're going to do that. But I can tell you this, I don't plan on getting us in compliance a career. I think it's a project. We need to come up with a plan, follow the plan, and let's make progress. Whether it's every 6 months or every year, we've got to report back to the public that we're making progress, or we need to look at making some alternative plans.
Obviously, Jackson is right snap dab in the middle of Hinds County. You have that relationship, that experience from being our police chief. How do we deal with crime from your new vantage point in the county and the city of Jackson?
Well, my vantage point is different, but actually the tactics are pretty close to the same. We did a lot of high visibility tactics inside of neighborhoods, but we were in those neighborhoods as partners. If you go about it like that, which is commonly known as community-oriented policing, the public will not only respect you, but they will help you. The idea is that the public and law enforcement wants the same things. They want peaceful communities to raise their families, start a business, all those things that you want to expect as an American citizen. So why not work together? You don't want to be seen as an adversary by the people that you seek to serve. So we want to integrate into the community. We want to work side by side with the JPD, and we want to implement some strategies that show steady crime reductions. I'm not trying to brag because I didn't do it by myself, but when I was police chief, we had double-digit crime reductions all 3 years. So I'm still thinking some of those tactics will work.
All right. Lee Vance,
thank
you, sir, for your time. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Still kind of waiting on the results, but right now it's looking really good.
We're in really good shape. I'm confident about the position that we're in. But, of course, we want to make sure that every vote is counted before we declare ultimate victory.
All right. That is Lee Vance, a possible next Hinds County Sheriff. We're here at Johnny T's. Troy Johnson reporting live for 16 WAPT News.